Good evening, and welcome to this evening's live stream jazz from Guildford Jazz with Jazz in Reading and Berkhamsted Jazz, being streamed live tonight from the Boileroom here in the centre of Guildford. My name's Marianne Wyndham, and I'd like to say a very special warm welcome to all our Guildford Jazz members and all our friends who live here and hereabouts. It's really nice to have you here, thank you. And also, of course, to the members of Berkhamsted Jazz and the friends of Jazz in Reading. It's lovely to be here with you again as well. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to be doing these live streams together. And actually, we've also got quite a lot of people from all over the country. Let me see. We've got Glasgow. Hello, Glasgow. Newcastle, Yorkshire, Leeds, Hereford, Cambridge, Shropshire, Dorset, Exeter, Brighton, Portsmouth, Chichester, Scarborough, London. Oh, well, loads of others. I'm sorry, I've probably forgotten a few. It's great, lovely to have everybody here from all over the country here tonight to hear these fantastic musicians. Thank you very much for joining us. If you'd like to say hi during the performance, there's a chat tab on your screen. Just send us a hello or your comments or your thoughts. It'd be really nice to hear from you. And if you've got any questions, we're doing a little question and answer thing at the end. So if you've got questions you'd like to ask the band as a whole or individual band members or anything, just send those in and we'll try and ask them at the end. And if the technology is all a bit too much for you, you can email feedback@guildfordjazz.org.uk and we'll pick those up as well. Thank you. It'd be nice to hear from you. So, well, over to the music, I guess. This is a band who are at the forefront of the contemporary UK jazz scene. The music is imaginative, deeply grooving and lyrical and melodic, with huge range of colour tonally. It's just wonderful music, and each musician has lots of space for their own expression. It's great to listen to. There's lots of nuance and very exciting music. So we're thrilled to have them here. And actually, I think it's going to be even more exciting because there are a couple of new numbers in the set. You could argue it's a world premiere. I wouldn't, but you could argue that. So that's very exciting. I hope you enjoy the music. So make yourself comfortable, pour yourself a drink, and I'll see you at the end. Please give a very warm welcome. We can hear you clapping. We can hear you to Trish Clowes, My Iris. Thank you.
Evening, everyone. Huge thank you to Marianne for inviting us here. It's so brilliant to play with these guys. So put your hands together. Even if you're at home, you're not at home on your own. Even if you're at home on your own, you're not on your own with us. So Chris Montague on guitar. James Madron on drums. Ross Stanley on Rhodes. You're going to be hearing basically all my music this evening. That was a tune called Lightning Les, which is from an album which we brought out 2 years ago, which seems crazy to say that. So yeah, we're going to continue with a very new one. This isn't completely new. Oh no, it is. This is the new one, isn't it? Okay. So this is called A View with a Room. So I wrote this just before and just after Christmas. So obviously I've had lots of time right at the moment, which is fine. So hopefully we'll get to record this at some point this year, but we shall see. So here we go, A View with a Room. As we're going through the evening, so I want to say thank you to Dom and Beth, who are doing sound and visuals for us this evening, so thank you to them. We're going to do another new tune, well, newish anyway. So that has never, I just want to extra cred to these guys, because I just wrote that and they just looked at that in the sound check, so extra round of applause for them. This one is another new one that I wrote sometime last year during all of this nonsense, and it's called, appropriately, it's called Time. So here we go. I just realised I put all the new ones first, so everyone's concentrating very hard. This one is called No Idea, mainly because I didn't know what to call it. And yeah, we played this in November, didn't we? So I think I wrote this sometime in September or something. So here we go. This is called No Idea. Alrighty. This tune is also from our album 90 Degrees Gravity. But I think, did I put it on that live one as well? I think I did. Pretty sure I did, actually. So if you, I mean, you're all doing brilliantly at supporting musicians because you're all watching and listening to us. If you're interested in the music that you're hearing, so not all of this has been recorded yet, or certainly the things we were just playing. But I have a couple of albums with these guys on Basho Records, which are on Bandcamp. That's kind of the best place to buy music at the moment. And I also put out a live album of us playing. I think it was kind of like the last time we played before the pandemic, wasn't it? Probably. So it's live. Yeah, so the quality isn't like crazy amazing, but my wonderful husband managed to spruce it up a bit. So you can hear us playing in Galway and Belfast. We love playing in Ireland. And this tune is on there. So Abbott and Costello is not for the comedians, although it kind of is. So I don't know if anyone's seen the movie Arrival, which is like a sort of sci-fi thing, which is not like a typical sci-fi. There's loads of really cool references to all sorts of things in there. So that was kind of the inspiration behind this tune. And Abbott and Costello are two of the characters, so I won't say any more in case you haven't seen it or whatever. But this is for them. So here we go, Abbott and Costello. Ooh, I should also say there's a music video for this, which is directed by Rose Hendry, a really wonderful filmmaker. So it's on my YouTube if you want to have a look at it. So yeah, here we go. So this next tune is called Amber, and it is for Amber Bauer, who is the CEO of a really cool grassroots charity called Donate for Refugees. Without going into that too much, if you're interested in supporting the plight of refugees, in amongst all this, only one can imagine, then take a look at her wonderful charity. She's an incredible woman. She's got loads and loads of energy, and I look forward to being able to doing more useful things to support her charity when I can again. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. This, is literally to reflect the dynamism of that woman. So here we go. So we're coming to the last couple of tunes. I just want to thank my wonderful band, Chris Montague on guitar, James Madden on drums, and Ross Stanley on Rhodes. Thanks again to Marianne and her team. So I didn't quite catch how many jazz networks / communities Marianne had managed to connect with, but it sounded very impressive. So thank you to her for putting together such a brilliant event. It's a real treat. It's a great venue, and we're having a great time. So it's much appreciated. Thank you, Marianne. And thanks again to Beth and Dom for doing a great job with the sound. Sounds mega up here, and hopefully it looks great at home as well. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago, Marianne? When was the last one? 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it looked great. So I'm sure it looks great tonight as well. So this is called Free to Fall. It's again from 90 Degrees Gravity, but also on the live thing that I put out. And that's just basically I put out that album just to put out something like really recent that we'd all been up to whilst it's so difficult to play. But yeah, also just to sort of hear how all the tunes sort of live and change over time. And anyway, so here we go. This is Free to Fall.
And that wasn't that fantastic. That was just amazing. Thank you so much. It's really weird, this live streaming, because there's nobody here to applaud, and yet we know, like, everybody at home's going, "Oh, woo, 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 that's fantastic! It's brilliant. Thank you so much." So Ross on the Rhodes. I mean, is a piano or an organ or a what? Was it, Ross?
This? Oh, it's more like a piano, I guess, than anything else.
More like a piano than anything else?
Yeah, it's got sort of hammers that hit tines, which are similar to strings in the piano.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between that and a piano?
Well, this is electric, so it's amplified. That makes a sound. So.
But it's not like an ordinary, like, keyboard type electric piano, is it?
No, I mean this is from 1979, so it's almost as old as my Hammond, but a lot less heavy.
But very heavy. I mean, I saw you wheel it in on a whole big...
It's still heavy, but it feels like child's play compared to the Hammond.
Yeah, well, it sounds fantastic. Thank you. So Ross on Rhodes piano and James Mandron at the back there on drums. Thank you, James. That was phenomenal. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure to be somewhere different other than our own living rooms. You know? To be, and it's sad not to have everyone in the same room, but you know, it's really special to play with other people again. That's the thing I'm feeling right now. Behind here, there's a very happy face.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. It's I should say, you know, you're seeing people on stage here and around, but the venue is very empty and it's all very COVID compliant. So we're kind of strictly keeping by the rules here. And Kris, great to hear you play on guitar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was wonderful.
Thanks for inviting us.
That's a pleasure. I've got a few questions coming at you. Right. But the first one, actually, I wondered, Trish, what your... Actually, I should say to the audience, it's Trish Clowes on sax, because she's introduced all the band, but not herself. Wonderful Trish Clowes. Give it up. Go on, give her a cheer from your living rooms.
Thanks, Marianne.
And the original composition's wonderful. Thank you so much. Really, really great. I just wanted to ask you about the name My Iris, because it's got a few connotations that I've heard, grandmother and Wayne Shorter and all sorts of things. So tell us a little bit about where the name came from.
So it was just the name Iris kept appearing. So I actually wrote a piece with Iris in the title somewhere like years ago. And when this band was sort of becoming it's what it is now, it was first a trio with so I've played with James for years and years, and we were kind of doing another band, and as I was putting this trio together with Ross and Kris, it just sort of struck me how obviously I picked them. I mean, I knew I'd picked those guys, but the amount of colours that we could get, and then, you know, especially when James joined us again as well. It definitely has made me a better writer, like, no question, sort of, with this kind of ensemble and just getting to play over a long time as well. So when I came to, like, name it officially, I guess I can't remember why I had to do that. It had to become more than the Trish Clowes, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
So Iris is really a little nod to, you know, your iris, your eye, you know, colour, how you hear things. But yeah, also my grandmother, as you correctly pointed out. So yes, it wasn't really, so my is obviously because it's my sort of music, but it was really just because Iris just kept popping up in my world. So that's it, really.
It's a great name, multifaceted, which is a great thing. Okay, now I've got to just refer to my device here with all the questions that have been coming in, which Steve from Ultimate Stream has very kindly put together. So first question is from Ken Bevan. Hi Ken, thank you for joining us. And it's a question actually maybe for everybody, which would be rather nice. So maybe we should start with Ross. That would be cool. So which jazz artists have influenced your style? And you can say Scott Joplin, obviously.
Obviously, yes. Today I've been playing, before this gig, all day I've been playing Scott Joplin. So that might have had some kind of bearing on this evening. But, well, for me, I mean, there's too many to mention, really, but I kind of started with Bill Evans, moved on to John Taylor. This is very generally speaking, and then back to sort of Errol Garner, and, you know, so I've kind of started at one point, gone quite far forwards, and then gone all the way back.
Yeah, absolutely. And back further today to Scott Joplin. Yeah.
Yes. to generally speaking, anyway. You know, there's a lot, obviously, many more players in between that, but.
Fantastic. Oh, thank you very much. That's great. How about you, James? Who's
Again,
influenced
it's that
you?
sort of question, which is, if you can answer. I could be here all evening answering or throwing names at you of drummers and musicians that have influenced me. But for a quick and easy answer, Philly Joe Jones, Elvin Jones, Tony Williams, Jeff Tame Watts, Nasheet Waits, Brian Blade, then I'll stop.
Yeah, it could go on, couldn't it? Wonderful. Thank you very much. Kris, how about you on guitar?
I was probably about 14. I'd been playing a lot of blues music and things like that, and then I got into Wes Montgomery. I've had an album of his, and that really blew me away. And then I got into John Schofield and Mike Stern and players like that, and then started to look at people who kind of they were influenced by. And then it kind of went back to Wes and Jim Hall.
Yes, went backwards.
Jim Hall, people like that. And then nowadays people like Wayne Krantz, Bill Frisell, those kinds of players, you know, Alan Holdsworth, people like that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And Trish, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining that a lot of people listening have heard me say all these things before, but I can add a couple of new ones. So Wayne Shorter's always been a massive influence. Just, I think the main thing, because it's beyond the saxophone, it's a writing concept thing as well. So it's kind of, when I heard his band, the quartet that's just finished, they stopped playing a couple of years ago. That was just getting going when I was like about 17. So it was just like, that, you know, I could go and hear them live whenever they came to London. So it was just like a real proper listening experience and feeling experience because I was there. So I think that's why he's had such a massive impact on me, is because not only do you get all the back catalogue, but you get like exactly him. You know, even the last concert I heard with him, he was still, you know, presenting new music and things. So that's why Wayne, I think, is so lingering and, you know, what I hear, and his sound, you know. But then also Ian Bellamy, you know, I was really into his playing before I knew him, but now I'm lucky to say he's a close friend. And then, I think like an important thing for me recently, I mean, going back like Lester Young, I mean, I've been into him, and there's a lineage with like Lester Young and Wayne Shorter, Stan Getz. There's this whole kind of, you know, you can could sit here all day saying all these things, but more recently I've been really thinking a lot about how Joe Henderson plays and how he checked out Coltrane, because Coltrane is like this epic influence in most tenor players' lives, but it's really hard to like figure out how to get a handle on that. And Joe Henderson is kind of the key for me. So I've been really enjoying in recent years checking out how he is influenced by Coltrane. So yeah,
that's fantastic. It's really interesting how everybody kind of, you start, you know, further back, and then you work forward to contemporary people, and then from that you kind of go backwards again into the heritage of jazz. It's like a theme coming through. It's really interesting. Thank you so much. Okay, I should move on to some other questions. This is from Pete Brain, and he says, Trish, do you mainly compose on your own, or do you like collaboration with others when creating new work?
Collaboration, but it's not in the, you know, it's not like we're all sort of sitting in a rehearsal room boring each other to death, playing things over and over and all that kind of stuff. It's a genuine thing that happens over time, like when you know players, you know, like I've known all these guys for a long time. Well, for me, it feels long. And you know, so when I'm writing, I mean, that's why I love writing for this band, and really like writing for this band is how, that's where my craft, you know, that's where I'm teaching myself how to write music, and it's because I know what they're into. I ask them what they're into. I hear how they respond to things, and so it's collaboration like that, I would say. You know, but you know, when I'm writing, I'm at the piano or singing or something. So
you're kind of writing for the people you're playing with.
Yeah, completely. Really. Yeah, it's like it's way more fun to do that.
Yeah. Well, nice, because you know their style and what will work, and then what will sound great, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. That ties in a little bit to Steve from Elstead. Hi, Steve. He says, well done on an enjoyable performance night. How long does it take you to write?
Oh, gosh. Anything from like a minute to like months, you know.
Right.
Like utterly
That's
seriously.
That's a fairly broad answer then.
Yeah, like, I mean, Time that you heard tonight, I wrote that super fast. Shirley, which we didn't play, which we were thinking about playing, like a ballad, I wrote really fast. And then like the new one that you heard earlier, like I've been tweaking that for weeks, you know, whatever.
Yeah, okay. Here's another question. How did you first get into jazz?
I think that's mainly my dad's fault, I think. Maybe not actually, because Ella was on a lot when I was a kid, so I wasn't thinking jazz, I was just thinking singing and Ella. But yeah, so that was in the background from quite early on. So yeah, family's fault.
Is that the same for everybody? That like people, you know, you listen to music at home, it was playing, and then that's kind of how you picked it up. But Kris, was that your experience too?
Yeah, there wasn't a load of jazz. There was a lot of like blues, like B.B. King and Peter Green, the early Fleetwood Mac stuff, and some Steely Dan, and then things like Chic and some dance music and like, you know, cool dance music, things like that. And then I don't know how I kind of got into it. I remember seeing that Ken Burns jazz documentary, and I was quite taken with that. And then I you know, had a few close friends who were really into it, and we were all kind of learning together to play jazz and listening to different records together and stuff like that. And we just kind of felt our way into it.
When you started playing, kind of thing, yeah. How about you, James? Is that similar kind of thing?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's like what Kris said. I think it's sort of, I mean, certainly my experience again was like having people, my friends my own age, who were also kind of curious about the music, you know. So I mean, growing up, I had a lot of classical music in the house. And then when I went to school, it was more like then I had one music teacher who was really into jazz and who was brilliant teacher, and just me and some of my friends started getting into the music, you know, buying albums, like saving up money and buying CDs, and then you'd listen to a CD for like 2 weeks until you could save up money to buy another CD again. So in those 2 weeks, you really know an album, you know, and then you just get really into it. Yeah.
And what was the first one you bought? Do you remember? People
the
often
first
kind
CD
of know,
I bought that was jazz.
Was or maybe not jazz. I don't know.
Actually, no, it was John Coltrane, Blue Train. That was the first.
Yeah, well, classic.
CD that I bought with my own money. Yeah, that was it, and I still love it to this day. You know.
Fantastic. Ross, how about you? What was your experience of when you were growing up about learning music?
Well, I was studying classical piano.
Oh yes,
and I think my first experience of jazz, I'd not heard a note of jazz until I got asked to stand in for the piano player in the college big band, because they knew I could read music. So they said, well, we won't give you any solos, but if you could just stand in and come and read the music for us for the concert, you know.
Is that what Trish said to you yesterday as well?
So yeah, I got the bug shortly after that, really. Yeah.
Wonderful, thrown in the deep end, basically.
Yeah,
great. Well, that was a question from Mick Thomas. Hi, Mick. Thanks for joining us. That was a good question. And here's the kind of standard question everybody gets asked, isn't it, at the moment? You know, how have you spent lockdown? What have you been up to? So, Ross, what have you been up to during lockdown? Apart from playing Scott Joplin, obviously.
Yeah, Joplin today. Just a lot of recording projects, really. A lot of educational stuff for this syllabus, rock school syllabus, which is sort of an alternative to ABRSM. And they just come up with a new classical piano grade series, so they asked me to record about 100 pieces
Wow.
for the accompanying CDs for the students to listen to hear what supposedly is the correct version of all these pieces. So that took a couple of months to do. And yeah, Jamie Cullum's Christmas album, which was
Oh wow! Okay.
a highlight of last year.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. Very good. Thank you, James. How about you? What have you been up to?
Again, getting into recording. I think it was that, you know, in March, whenever it was, then they said, "Oh, everyone has to stay at home." It's like, well, I want to record, but I didn't even have a laptop at the time. So I was like, I've got hold of a laptop and started trying to get some microphones and learn about how to record from home. I think so many musicians had the same thing, you know. But that's been most of what my time's been spent doing. That and making sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread.
Yeah. I'm really lucky. I went on a
thing.
sourdough bread making course in February last year, so it was like perfect timing. Getting into making bread.
There we go.
Drinking natural wines. That's about it. Yeah. That's about it.
Fabulous. How about you, Kris? Any sourdough bread or wines for you?
No, definitely no bread for me. No, too healthy for that. What did I had an album came out in May, and then the tour got absolutely iced almost immediately, and then I've kind of rebooked that about 3 times now, so I've given up now. And then I got really into gardening. I've gotten a little allotment in my garden.
Oh,
so I
fantastic.
got really obsessed with that.
Yeah.
And then I sanded some parquet floors down.
That's very good.
Installed a wood burner with my dad. What else did I do? Painted the house. DIY generally. Trying to get better at that.
Yeah.
And then made a paper mache tunnel for my son last week for his train set.
Here we are.
And then,
the
just
top
hours-
tips for how
hours
to get
spent-
better at your instrument.
Yeah, practicing is cheating.
Practicing is cheating. Okay. Fantastic.
That
Well,
is honestly it.
sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Quite
And then
varied.
teaching online.
Teaching online,
Endless
yeah, of
teaching
course.
online, yeah.
Yeah. So talking about teaching, Trish, tell us a bit, because you've been teaching and composing, of course.
Yeah, just loads of writing, and practicing a bit, but it's kind of a bit weird practicing at the moment, unless there's something like this coming up, which is nice. Making lots of cakes, made quite a lot of cakes. And that's kind of it. I mean, I'm not very, it's kind of music and baking.
That's good. Well, that's a good
Few
combination.
runs here and there.
Enough, isn't it? You did a series of compositions for solo instruments for London Sinfonietta, didn't you? Because
Yeah.
I checked them out, actually, and there's one for double bass. So I
There
really
is.
enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah.
But you did it for like cello and soprano sax and several
Yeah,
of them,
that's right.
Yeah.
I kind of actually forgot I'd done that. Yeah. So there were, when the pandemic hit, I mean, all of us had no idea what was going to happen, but loads of really interesting things came up. So solo commissions is definitely one of them. So the cello one I did for free. That was just for my friend because I've always wanted to write her a piece. The other two, very fortunate to have work through that kind of way. And that was a nice thing to do when you can even do stuff like this, because you're still giving other people something somehow. So, yeah.
But you've obviously also been writing for the band here, because you've done some new pieces tonight. Have you been writing some other new stuff as well?
Everything that's new tonight is as far as I've got. I have got some other things sitting on the piano that are
Okay.
part way finished. So that, and I've got I'm doing a recording. fingers crossed, it's been pushed back a little bit, but in theory doing like an orchestral thing, like I'm being invited to do something. So I'm kind of finishing something off for that.
Sounds exciting.
So
You need to let us know what it is.
yeah, well, I don't know what it is myself yet, but it's
Okay.
Orchestra of the Swan. They're a kind of group based in Stratford, but the guy who leads it, David LePage, is amazing. Like, he's just been making things happen for musicians. I mean, he's a fantastic violinist as well, but hats off to anyone like yourself for getting anything together at the moment. So yeah.
That's great. And what do you see, like, last question, the future of the, well, not the future of the band, but what's next for My Iris? What's your next?
I mean, I want to record another album with them, so and
great.
do another music video with Rose Hendry, who did my last one, because it's just been so great working with her, and so we've been kind of generating ideas and really excited. It's just money, basically. So I mean, hopefully something this year, but it took me a while to sort of start thinking like that, to be honest, because it was kind of almost too painful last year, because you just couldn't really think about the future because you didn't really know what was going to happen. Whereas I think now it's a bit easier to, start planning ideas and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, somewhere.
Well, that sounds really exciting. We shall look out for that. Let us know, won't you? And if people would like to, in the meantime, buy your last album and stuff.
Bandcamp is the best place, the
Okay.
easiest way to do it, because more of the money comes to us. Like, particularly if you get the live one, that's I can just literally, that's just split between the four of us. But yeah, my other
Great.
albums are on there as well.
So they can find a bank, or if they go to your website, presumably they get our links.
Also there as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Well, we'd better stop there so everybody can pack up and go home. But just to say thank you again to the wonderful band who've been playing for us. Trish Clowes, give it up for Trish Clowes.
Marianne.
Ross Stanley on the piano, James Madron on the drums, and Kris Montague on guitar. It's been fantastic to have you. Thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure.
Well, it's been
Thanks,
great.
Thanks, Marianne.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, thank you for having us.
And just a couple of last thank yous as well before we go. I'd like to say thank you to Beth, and who's done the sound tonight, and Dom, who's done the camera work and actually runs the place and made the whole thing happen. Thank you very much, guys, from the bottom of our hearts, for making it such a great evening and making it so easy for us to be here as well. And thank you at home, everybody, for listening, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do it at all. So thank you so much for buying tickets and for being here. It's really great to have you, especially to Jazz in Reading and Berkhamsted Jazz. It's been great to do this collaboration again, and let's do more, because the world needs more live streams at the moment, apparently, until we can get back out there. It's the best way of keeping in touch. So it's great to know you're all there and to have the personal connection. Do drop us an email, won't you? Let us know how you found it and how you enjoyed it, and it'd be really nice to hear from you. And we're back again on the 10th of February, and I'll send out the details with the lineup and how to get tickets and stuff very soon. So that's it from us for tonight. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you once again to the wonderful band, to the wonderful guys on the sound and the vision. We'll see you soon. Good night. Thank you.